a better life. Let's make it real. This is a better life. From scars to stars, from pain to bulletproof, to reach a better life. A better life with you. Talking news, pop culture life, love and scandal, heart to heart. No playing small, we rise, we fall, we laugh, we do it all. A better life is one brave call to reach a better life. Let's build a better life. Let's build a better life. A better life to reach a better life. To reach the better life. All right, you guys got the live ending. Oh gosh, I have to I'm gonna adjust my camera. Okay, you guys would not believe. Does anybody have TDS cable? Highly do not recommend. Okay, I got to make adjustments here. I just got off the phone with them literally a few minutes ago. Again, with internet trouble. I keep having internet trouble, which I switched from, what was it here, over here? Let's see, it wasn't Comcast. Anyway, we switched over to TDS and it's been giving us trouble ever since. Hello, Vivid. Hello, Retro Plank. I was just complaining about my internet issues and it looks like this is frozen on the TV. I'm just going to warn you, I just got off the phone, 40 minutes with them. It looks like it's back on, but the guy was saying it shows on his end that I don't have service. So whatever's going on, we could have a little glitch in the system. Hopefully not. If that's the case, I will just connect to a hotspot on my phone and try it there. But anyway, we are in business. Very last minute here. Goodness, I don't know. Our whole neighborhood has had issues with them and everybody switched from the regular cable internet provider. So who knows? This is the best and fastest that we have available here right now. So we're sort of stuck, or we go for slower service with the cable. Who knows what I'll end up doing, guys, but I'm so glad you're here. Please give a thumbs up to the video, hit the heart in the next to the comments in the comment section. Hope not. We need a smooth live. And is my microphone a mess right now? Can you hear me okay? Let me switch. Okay, I'm going to switch. I know what's going on because audio, I'm going to switch over, guys. My mic, I got you. I know what I'm doing here to fix it. It should be fixed now, Retro Pack. Is it good? So because my internet went out and then it reset everything, then I have to reset my mic back to the how I need it. Yes, good. Okay, perfect, you guys. We're in business. The poor TDS guy, I'm like, I know it's not your fault, guy, but I'm so frustrated. My husband had to go outside to the outside of the house, unscrew a thing. The guy wanted me to do it. I'm like, look, I'm not touching that stuff. You do not want me touching electronics and unscrewing things and messing with that because I could die and everyone else could die too. We don't want that. My husband's the hero. Okay, yes. So anyways, power down, Teresa, take a breath. And then I needed coffee. So we got some coffee going here too. Did you guys see Candace's X, x.com? Okay, so she is saying she has a Zoom call. She's in possession of a recording of a Zoom call that somebody gave her from Turning Point USA. I hope we get to see that whole thing, or at least, the good parts. Also, she says that Turning Point is doing like a witch hunt. They're going around and questioning people. Andrew Kolvet, they said, okay, so Andrew Kolvet questioned an employee who is friends with an employee who doesn't like Erika Kirk, so they questioned that employee. I told you it's got to be looking crazy. If they are pointing fingers, like if you were on the Monday live, we were talking about how they sent the cease and desist to Zach at Wolves and Finance. And I said, if they're doing that and they're that nitpicky, imagine what's going on in Turning Point. It's a mess. It's chaos. They're pointing the fingers at everyone, everywhere, except where it needs to be pointed, which is at themselves. So I guess, I don't know, somebody was talking to an Uber driver and an Uber driver of a friend of a friend of a friend. It's good. Hi, Mark. Good to see you here. Yeah, so friend of a friend of a friend doesn't like Erika, and so they are getting fired. They sent an attorney to somebody's house, and the attorney stood outside the house and said, "You're fired. Now we want your stuff. Make sure you don't delete anything." So it's a crazy mess to be in there. So this is very Trump-esque, right? Because Trump is the same way. He's like, you don't like him, you're a traitor. We're going to, anyways, this is, I know, whoever, if I don't know who's Trump people, I'm just like, I just want people to do the right thing. I don't care. I don't think Trump's the guy, but I just want people to do the right thing. And if you're not doing the right thing, I'm going to call you out. This is not the right thing. And what he did to Marjorie Taylor Greene and to anybody who questions him is it's like a witch hunt. And then they just go on the attack and they want to kill you. Anyway, so Erika Kirk spoke at an event in LA, and I was looking at some clips. And let me keep track of the time too. I wanted to show you a clip. I don't think we have time. I'm going to make sure that I flip over here. What time she say she's going on, guys? Let me see. 4:30. Yeah. Let me have a quick minute. Let me see. I'm going to add a different screen so you guys can see this. And let's see. What's this one? Except come home. Okay. Let me see if this is better. That's better. Okay. So Erika Kirk. So people are putting on clips everywhere. Thank you, Vivid. In 10 minutes, she's on. So we'll just play a couple clips here real quick. But so, Erika confuses me. Does she confuse you? Because when I see things and I see her, it seems like she appears to be sincere and heartfelt and a good person. And then I'm like, wait, no, my gut is telling me, like, don't be fooled by the show, right? Do you guys have that? Am I the only one? But okay, so but I see this clip of her, and you can see in this clip, like she wants to mouth the words F, but she doesn't, and then she kind of catches herself. But you can see her, if you watch closely, sort of go in and out of this good guy and the real person that she in my opinion is, or allegedly. But like I said, it's when I see someone being nice and I'm like, okay, am I wrong? But here, take a listen. Take a watch. Oh, I'm going to rewind. Here we go.
When all of this happened, you really see who your true friends are. You see who is in your corner. You see.
Can you guys hear that good enough?
Excuse me, this microphone. Who is writing?
Okay, did you catch that? Let me do it. Let me do it again. First of all, I'm going to pause this and wait for your answer.
Who genuinely cared.
Is the sound on that okay? Can you hear it? Hit the like button. Thank you, Mark. Okay, so I'm going to replay this for you guys. Oh, I should have slowed it down. Now we'll just watch her.
When all of this happened, you really see who your true friends are. You see who is in your corner. You see who is riding, excuse me, this microphone, who is riding my husband's coattails and who genuinely cared.
I'm going to fix this sound because I need to go into my system to do this. Hold on, guys, bear with me. It's kind of quiet. Yep, I got to go into my system sounds on my computer because of the reboot. So I'm going to. Okay. That's good. I'm going to turn that up. Okay. Now let's see how that is.
Who genuinely.
Nope. Okay. It might be that they're recording. Let's just see.
Wanted to be there for us as a family. And anyways, everyone, you know, does their best to pour into you and be there for you. And
it might be their recording.
Happened,
anyways, did you notice her face? So I often will go in between, like looking at her and seeing her seeming like she's being kind. And I always just study people, and I always leave room for if I'm mistaken about somebody. I mean, for the most part. Sometimes obviously there's the obvious people. And what's going on? Kind of quiet. I'm not quiet, right? But the video was. Hi, Cisco. Hi, Quinn. Let me try this. I bet you it's just that recording. So I'm gonna go back to sharing Candace's screen here. Erika's Inquisition is what she titled this. Okay, so let's see. I'll play. Let's see yesterday's, because yesterday's. Yeah, it's Erika's mic. Okay. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, so it was just that her mic was not the greatest. But did you happen to see her face? Because she was being kind of nice, and then she's like, oh. I mean, I do that too. But I'm just saying, I think a lot of times she puts on that big smile and flashes the big blue eyes, and you can be easily tricked that she is the nice person. But why didn't it? Yes, I know. Where was that? Where did you see MTX? So MTX is asking, why didn't Candace tell us about the first two letters TPUSA sent, or anything happening behind the scenes, or that she was under contract with them with the. Yes, I had that question too. And I actually have a list of questions from the week that I'm going to send her because inquiring minds want to know, because that would have been some nice information to have for sure. I agree with you on that. We had no idea, and maybe it's because of the legal side of it. My guess is that just because it's legal and all of that. But yeah, I would definitely like to know that piece of information. And I'm going to refresh my screen here just to make sure we don't miss her too. Sometimes it'll freeze up here and not do that. Okay. There was something else I wanted to show you, but because of getting on later, I don't have time to show you. So yes, so there was a letter. So they had a conversation with her about this before she received the letter. They've had a conversations saying, hey, you're under contract, you have this no disparagement agreement and all of that. And so, yeah, so we didn't hear about that. So I'm hoping she'll address that. God bless Candace Owens. She really cared for Charlie. Blessings to all of you. Thank you. And to you too. Yeah, she did. I feel like that's a true friend. I would definitely prefer what I've seen out of her than what I've seen out of anybody from Turning Point USA or President Trump or any of that. Some say it hold no ground because it was made while Charlie was alive. Yeah. Hi there, 30 Miller, Bethany, and Vivid. I think if she had people might force TPUSA to sue. She probably wanted to see how TPUSA will take it, how far they would take it. Yeah. I agree. I don't. What I know is, although I'm a person who wants all the information, that's just who I am. Please tell me everything, minute to minute, blow by blow, play by play. However, I do believe that whatever she doesn't say is for good reason and strategic, whether that's legal or personal. And that's what I believe. And I don't like it all the time, obviously, but I think she's good people. I do. Hi, Texas. Hi, Jats. Go, Max. Yes. Remember, she moved to cancel the contract first. Maybe the move to cancel the contract, infuriated them. Yeah, so I think she was making legal moves. I think you're right, Vivid. She's making moves and trying to negotiate with them. She doesn't want it exactly to go public until she's ready for it too. So at the same time, she is a person and she's trying to balance all of it, right? She's trying to balance being a normal everyday person that she is, also being a online and has us to answer to in a way, so to speak. And then, Charlie's friend, and then also somebody who's trying to run an investigation. There's a lot of moving parts. So I think giving her grace is called for sure. And I don't think we need to do that as much with Erika. Anyways, there was other videos I really wanted to get to, you guys. I'm so sad I couldn't be here sooner because I had a lot of good stuff to talk about. But Trump had that the Board of Peace meeting, and we have clips of that we'll get to. As I told you yesterday, I'm working on a project. I'm working on something. You guys, I hope to be able to bring it to you in the next week or two. But so tomorrow I won't be going on because I am doing a pre-interview with someone. And it looks like Candace is on. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm unmuted and share, add to stage. There is what it's called. Let me get out of my... Why can't I click out of, there we go. And we go to big screen. There we go, guys. We're all loaded up. Oh, anyways. So I am having a pre-interview with somebody that I'm excited to be able to talk to and bring news and information to you. Let's go. Tomorrow. So it's a pre-interview because I'm going to run down with her what my angle is and what I'm looking for and what I want and how we're going to do that. If we're going to do a live video, if we're going to do pre-recorded video, or if she's just going to talk to me and I'm going to gather all the information I need and then make my own video. So we'll go over that, but it's an exciting thing. I'm really pumped up about that. So unfortunately, the best she could do, and her schedule is to do it during our normal screening, live streaming time. So, but I hope to be able to give you a little bit more information next week about that. So, and then there's something else in the works that I'm working on. So, I hope you guys. Did anybody here listen to the Substack recordings of Sasha Riley? Let me know in the chat. Does anybody have Substack? I actually I should probably start posting on Substack and on Rumble. Anybody on Rumble, Substack, any of those? I'm just curious. They're newer platforms, but people are tending to put things there first in case something goes wrong. Speaking of something going wrong, with this big weather coming in and going crazy, some conspiracy theorists are thinking that they're going to have the grid go down and there's going to be some major action there. So not sure. Candace does a lot of things behind the scenes. Let me catch up here. Yeah, Jats, she does. She do not have Substack. Cisco doesn't. Let's see. Listen to the interview, but not on Substack, said Quinn. I'll just say Quinn. Substack is not Substack. Substack, not Substack. My mouth. I'm a little bit dry in my mouth. Okay. Is it different from Rumble? Yeah. So Substack is different from Rumble. There are so many different platforms, but if we lose any of them, oh, here she is. I'll stop talking now.
All right, you guys. Arizona, you should know, is an at-will employment state. What that means is that employers can fire you for any reason at all. It's not illegal for them to do so, but the question is it immoral for them to do so after the company rakes in $250 million off the back of its founder's assassination, and employees are working overtime to help make that happen? I'll let you guys decide, because the stories that are coming out right now, first-person accounts over a round of firings, stories are stunning, truly stunning. We also now have a never-before-seen text message, which Charlie Kirk received, this time from a loving, very loving Christian Zionist donor. And I want to be clear, it reads to me like a threat. Again, I will let you guys decide. Let's jump right back in. Welcome back to Candace. Charlie was threatened. He was threatened a lot, I would say, threatened financially. And I want to be clear, it wasn't just by Jewish donors, but also by Christian Zionist donors. What is Christian Zionism? We're all wondering. We're having that conversation now as a society. Like, what does this actually mean? Doesn't feel too Christian. It kind of feels like, here is how Christians better behave and act. And we're going to try to package it in a Bible verse. You know, that's how it's starting to feel to me. And I think a lot of people, well, this is not going to help. Let's just back up. In July, we know that's when things went sideways for Charlie Kirk, right? He stepped out of line because he hosted Tucker Carlson at their SAS event in July. And I want to be clear here. If we're just asking ourselves the question, what exactly did Tucker do or say that was so controversial? Nothing at all. He asked reasonable questions that were on everybody's mind, questions about Jeffrey Epstein. That's pretty fair to open that conversation. He asked about why it seems he's somehow protected, where his money came from. He asked about Israeli blackmail operations. Tucker, for being clear here, what Tucker did was he was honest. Take a listen.
How does a guy go from being a math teacher at the Dalton School in the late 70s with no college degree to having multiple airplanes, a private island, and the largest residential house in Manhattan? Where did all the money come from? And no one has ever gotten to the bottom of that because no one has ever tried. And moreover, it's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that. There is nothing hateful about saying that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying that. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that. I've spent my entire life pretty much in Washington, where I knew and loved a number of people, including one very close person who worked at CIA. That has never prohibited me from saying, I think the CIA has done some horrible things, murdered a bunch of people, participated in the murder of a sitting US president. It's got a whole trail of crimes. That doesn't make me a disloyal American. It doesn't make me anti-American in any sense. I was born here. My family's been here for hundreds of years. I love this country. That's why I live here. So criticizing the behavior of a government agency does not make you a hater. It makes you a free person. It makes you a citizen. You're allowed to do that because you're not a slave, you're a citizen. And you have a right to expect that your government will not act against your interests, and you have a right to demand that foreign governments not be allowed to act against your interests. That's not creepy. It shouldn't be forbidden. And yet all of us have trained ourselves to believe that you can't say that somehow, that that's like too naughty and forbidden. And the effect of making that off limits has been to create a lot of resentment, and I'll say it, hate online.
Anti-Semitism.
People feel like they can't just say, like, what the hell is this? You have the former Israeli prime minister living in your house. You have had all this contact with the foreign government. Were you working on behalf of Mossad? Were you running a blackmail operation on behalf of a foreign government?
Oh, Tucker, but it is forbidden. You look out in an audience, they're cheering, they agree with you because it makes sense. But Tucker, to some people in this society, if we're being honest, they do view us as slaves. They've given us the illusion of freedom. They gave Charlie the illusion of freedom. Yeah, Charlie, go out there. Fight for free markets and capitalism. This is your company. This is your organization. You built this. You were young. You didn't get into West Point, and you built this because you care about free markets and capitalism. And of course, free speech. And then when Charlie started prodding the narrative about Israel, suddenly he realized he wasn't a free man. He wasn't a free man at all. And he wasn't even free to invite who he wanted to invite to speak on his stage. You know, I showed you guys that text thread. I could show you more, where Charlie was saying that he's thinking that he wants to invite Candace. Well, also, I can confirm to you today that on September 9th, amongst a smaller pool of TPUSA employees, Charlie sent a text saying, the day before he died, that he wanted to invite me to AmFest. Yeah, no, that wasn't allowed to happen because this Tucker speech wasn't allowed to happen. That speech was disobedient to Israel's aims. I'm going to now read you an unhinged text message that Charlie received, this time from a female Christian donor, Zionist, of course. And as I read this, I want you to keep in mind that this information, once again, is being shared to you from me, not from Charlie's closest friends over at Turning Point USA, who purport to care about what happened to him, purport to want the truth to get out, except not when it comes to the pressure that Charlie was under in the months leading up to his assassination, pressure that was coming from donors. These people, in fact, wouldn't dare utter a bad word about Israel. Tons to say about Candace Owens. They're not going to send any legal letters over to anybody that is pro-Israel. Yeah, it seems that that's the way, right? Not for a single second do they want to betray the Israel narrative, Israel as a friend and ally, not just the United States, but of course to Charlie Kirk until the very end. Now, I'm letting you know that I have copy and pasted this message and sent it to my team and sent it back because I want to make sure that where and who this message came from is not obvious. But this is a real message. Andrew Kolvet can confirm it's real. Erika Kirk can confirm it's real that Charlie Kirk received this. Let's read this, okay? All of the people that trusted you, Jews and Christians, including me, why would you platform anti-Semites like Candace and Tucker? There are many evangelical Christian Zionists who would never give these people the opportunity to spew their hatred. I'm one of them. You say people are accusing you of being an anti-Semite because you disagree with the Israeli government. Well, what is it exactly that you disagree with? You threatened Jews and Christians with your 30 million followers. Are you kidding? Be very careful, Charlie. You are in violation of the 9th commandment by bearing false witness against your brother Judah. When was the last time you read your Bible, Charlie? I'm coming to you as a believer. Genesis 12:3. Obadiah and many more prophets warned that those who curse Israel will be cursed. Your TPUSA Tampa event was a disaster. Michelle Bachmann was booed, and about 10% walked out on her when she talked about standing with Israel. You brag about how you convinced all these young voters to vote for Trump, but you can't convince them to stand with our Jewish brethren. This is not a joke, Charlie. I'm coming to you as a sister in faith. You have accomplished so much by the hand of the Almighty, but he is going to lift his hand from you. Don't fall for Tucker, Candace, and the rest. The Jews are under attack. God warns us in the last days that he will wipe out the descendants of Edom because they stood by while their brothers, Jacob, Israel, was held in captivity and did nothing. Don't be counted among the Edomites. It will be to your peril, as well as the unfinished work God was going to do through you.
Wow.
Oh,
That's awful. That's
but
ugly.
it's in a Bible verse, so he should be like chill with that. No, he wasn't chill with that. He did feel threatened by that. That feels like you're pretending to be a Christian, but you have specific marching orders, and you don't think there's a single reason why Charlie could reasonably critique what Israel is doing after what's been done in Gaza. They've effectively have turned Gaza into a parking lot, and this is how you come at him over Tucker's speech? Tucker's totally reasonable speech speaking about Jeffrey Epstein. Hey, he harmed children. And he is being protected because he did that on behalf of Israel. He did that for Israel. Blackmail operation for Israel. Everybody knows that, including Gen Z. And you're telling Charlie it's his job to convince Gen Z, like he's a psychological operation, that that's okay? That what Jeffrey Epstein did is fine? Because he has to stand with Judah. He has to look at what happened. And he's got to flip to Genesis and understand that even when they are behaving murderously, even when they are harming children, he better figure out how to support them and how to lie to people about how he feels about what they're doing. That's really something. It's really something, again, that you are hearing this from me. It is becoming increasingly difficult to imagine how Turning Point is not naming and shaming these people. I give them an opportunity here. Why don't you come out and say who sent Charlie that message? You won't. You won't. Of course you won't. You're lining up employees and firing them for literally no reason. We have proof of that later. Before we get to that proof and that video, I want to let you guys know that we received a very interesting tip, which unfortunately means that our established column that we built on our Excel sheet about, I don't know, everywhere that we investigate, there seems to be this theme regarding adults that have been accused credibly, or people that have gone to prison for and actually have been tried and found guilty of sexual contact with minors, right? That list we have built out for you. Well, this time it grows, and it is in relation to, it was not her directly, Lori Francevy, Erika's mom. Lori Francevy and Larry Ginta. That Larry, Lawrence Guinta, is Erika's stepfather. And they have a repeat business partner, a repeat business couple, Shelley and Lyle Reams, meaning they form businesses with these people. Now, Lyle Reams ostensibly is Native American, a part of the, and excuse me if I'm saying this wrong, Tohono O'odham Nation. Back in 1998, Lyle Reams was tried and indicted. He was indicted for sexual conduct with a minor under the age of 15. He was about 41 at the time, and we can show you this. You can look at this case. You can scroll through to understand what happened. The case made its way through the court system for a year and a half, during which time the young victim even gave a victim impact statement before the case was dismissed without prejudice in 1999. Without prejudice means that the victim has a right to bring about the charges again, and without prejudice. Anyways, this background, I'm telling this about Lyle because it was apparently not a bar to entry for Lori and Larry to pursue a business with Lyle, because fast forward to 2017, and together they filed to open a business located on a Native American reservation in a town called Socoton, Arizona. Maybe it's Socoton. Socoton, for reference, has a population today of just 3,254 people. 40% of those people are children. 95% are, Native American. So what exactly could represent, this is my question, a legitimate business interest amongst the Native American population on a Native American reservation. Remember, this is at a time when Lori is doing defense work for the Department of Justice. That's what she moved to Arizona for. What's their interest here? According to the formation docs, the business that they filed is called Desert Spirit Tech, LLC. Okay. Her name here is now Lauren, Lorin, rather than Lori, which is other business documents. And in looking through these docs, the place of business listed for the place of business that's listed, full stop, is 26 Rose and Thoby. Okay. Well, that address does not appear to exist. Rose and Thoby is an intersection. And we can pull this up live so you can see what we're seeing. If we're wrong, we're happy to correct this. But Rose is its own street. Thoby is its own street. The intersection, which we're going to zoom in on here, is let's get in close there, because there's just maybe one building that you could maybe say was on Rose and Thoby. Yeah, okay. We don't have a 26 Rose and Thoby. That doesn't exist. Okay. Maybe it's that
Maybe they're
building.
going to
That's the only
build
thing that
it.
looks like a building to me. Again, I don't know what that building's doing. There's another business on the same road that is owned by Mr. Lyle Reams and his wife, Shelley, which is called Generation 7 Farms. In theory, it should be right next door to Lori and Larry's Spirit Tech, as its address is 21 Rose and Thoby. Sadly, alas, we cannot find that one on a map either. Maybe you guys will have better luck. But what we can discern from the filing of Desert Tech is that Lauren Francevy is listed as a 20% stakeholder in the business. Larry Guinta, her husband, is also listed as a stakeholder and as the business's registered agent. But what is not immediately discernible, however, is what exactly this Spirit Tech does. Fortunately, it is required by law I think every country, in every state, maybe not all of them, that when you form an LLC, you have to then publicize that you are doing so in a local newspaper and provide a general description of your intended business operations. So I thought, great, that's an angle. Oddly, however, Larry, who, by the way, is an agent, remember, he's the registered agent on the business, Larry and Lori and the other two decided that for this business, they would issue the public notice in the Arizona Chinese News, okay? Here is proof, which they filed with the state, of their public notice. They got it notarized by Arizona Chinese American publication saying, hey, we did it. We ticked off that box by filing about what our business was going to be. It's done. Cool. This is in December of 2017. You can see the state received it on December 6th. They signed this on December 1st. Okay. Now, the Arizona Chinese newspaper, by the way, that's recognized. You can do that. It's not illegal. It's recognized by the state as an optional publication to meet the requirement. But as far as publications go, it's a bit obscure. It's not exactly accessible to non-Mandarin speakers. This is the website. So good luck trying to source a 2017 LLC public notice. Seriously, good luck. If someone finds it and you will maybe receive this publication, which goes out once a week, please email me at moretips@CandaceOwens.com, because I would like to know what this tech, Easy Tech, Desert Tech, Euro Tech, all of these tech companies do exactly. For reference, per their website, the Chinese news agency was founded in Phoenix, Arizona in April of 1990. Its mission is to create a cultural space for overseas Chinese and to serve the Chinese community. I find this to be all very shady. We're talking Native Americans, we've got Chinese. I don't know what this business does. This seems to be a recurring theme. Shouldn't be, especially if our government is involved. It should be very clear to figure out what everybody does. And maybe you're a better researcher than me. And it's especially shady given the fact that it looks like, and I'm going to prod that narrative further, that also back when Lori Francevy formed Eurotech, there was another shady character involved back in Cincinnati, Ohio. This seems to be a common theme, and we need to look into it further. And I promise you that I am now going to, because I don't like when people send legal letters to my house because I'm telling the truth. I just don't like it. Anyway, we'll be right back after a brief break, and I'll tell you about a recent round of firings happening at the company. All right, you guys, there is very clearly a war on truth.
That's wild. So if you're new here, I just keep Candace's window open so we can see her sponsors on there. Please like and subscribe to this stream and hers too. Hit all the notification bells, the thumbs up, heart in the comment. Okay, so I'm just wondering, I know that Trump has planned to bring over 600,000 Chinese students. So I don't know if that would have anything to do with it. I don't know what kind of schools they have over in Arizona, or anything, but what's going on with that? That's crazy. It does sound sus. And on Native American land in, that's wild. I mean, they do have their own police, but they also have their own laws. So I wonder what the different laws are that they would want to do something on a reservation. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, and yeah, as you had said, Cisco law enforcement has reduced powers inside reservation lands, and they're limited. We're limited because they have their own tribal laws. Okay. Wow. I'm going to take her off mute so we don't miss what she says when she comes back.
Identifying the direct connections between anti-parasitic medications and their off-label benefits of fighting a wide variety of cancers. And this makes sense. The connection between tumor growth and parasites has been known for years. While the CDC remains silent, they have admitted that millions of Americans suffer from parasitic infections that
Okay.
often go.
Ew, that gives me the creeps. I'm going to have nightmares. I don't know. I think we could all probably use a good cleansing. Let's see. Quinn, on a reservation, they are not under U.S. jurisdiction. All they have to do is by the tribal elders. Yeah, exactly. They have their own rules and laws. But what concerns me is that people are trying to go into their corrupt, they're going to corrupt those people. It happens, and that's what happened when the Native Americans still had a lot of their land. According to some people that I've talked to who are have their own tribes and on reservations, as they were corrupted and by the white man.
So remember when yesterday I told you how I received a legal letter in part for noting that a bunch of military men seem to have infiltrated Turning Point USA? That was one of the sentences. You said military men infiltrated Turning Point USA. Well, this is a fun tweet that somebody pulled up from Tyler Boyer, the former COO. He wrote this September 25th, 2018. He wrote, "We do have a team. We can only do as much as police on campus will allow, and also working with police or private security in a given venue. We run everything like a military op. All of our people are from that background." Oh, I tell the truth. Okay, great. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to, or maybe get a lawyer to send Tyler Boyer a letter. Anyway, guys, got to get into this firing thing. I have a lot, and I got to organize it over the weekend and things to give to you guys. And it's good because we're about to have a snowstorm and I can kind of plug in. So I still don't understand what caused it. I can't get to the root of what happened. But what I can tell you is that one person got brought into an office by Andrew Kolvet and was told that the CMO got into an Uber car and asked, just striking up some conversation with the Uber driver. I was like, "What do you think about Turning Point USA and the Charlie Kirk thing?" And he starts saying, "Oh, well, I actually have a daughter who knows somebody that works Turning Point USA, and maybe she doesn't like the stuff that's going on at the company." So an Uber driver was making small chat with an executive at Turning Point USA and said his daughter knew someone, and that person had potentially said something that he didn't really love. She didn't really love Erika at the helm. Anyways, Andrew Kolvet hauls this person into the office and starts asking about this Uber conversation. And of course, I literally have no idea what you're talking about, and says that it was completely.
What did you say to the Uber driver? Light in the face.
Untrue, almost like they had fictionalized it entirely for some other reason, for some other unknown reason. Anyway, another person who had worked there gets hauled into the office by the general counsel thinks that they are being brought in because they're going to get a raise or a bonus because apparently, which makes perfect sense, things have been insane, obviously. They are all really have been working nonstop. Think about the size and scale of the event that they put on at Charlie's Memorial Service. They had AmFest. They had a huge donor thing at Mar-a-Lago. So everyone's been killing themselves and no one's getting raises and bonuses. And yet, according to this person, Turning Point USA has brought in $250 million since Charlie's assassination. Good luck proving that I hurt your pockets. Like,
Wow.
what? Like, I think you did just fine this year, actually. I don't think my podcast did too much there. 250 million. I can't even wrap my head around this. LOL to the PR talking point that everyone's doing this for money. I can't, that is money that I cannot even comprehend outside of random articles written in the Hindustan Times where people think that my net worth is $200 million and I have 72 houses. Yeah, that's what's happening at Turning Point USA. Anyway, another person, that person regarding the Uber thing then said, if you want to know my actual opinion to Andrew Kolvet, if you want to know my actual opinion about Erika, you can just ask me. And he proceeds to go, okay. And then she kind of then illustrated that a lot of people just feel like outwardly the company is presenting like they're one big family. We're one big family. We're one big family. But then actually a lot of the employees feel that that's just a public presentation, that Erika doesn't even know their names, that only a handful of people even have access to her. And so it doesn't feel like the same company. I think that's a reasonable thing. Anyways, fired, goodbye. Within the same day, maybe the next day, I actually am not completely sure, another person gets hauled in, thinks that she's getting a raise, and actually they just tell her that she's fired, It's like thinking I crushed it at AmFest. I am definitely about to get a raise. This company is flush with cash. Actually, you're fired. And so she asks the attorney, why am I being fired? And the attorney just says, we're going in a different direction. You don't get to have an explanation. Security's outside, leave. And so at this point, the employee hits record on their phone because they don't understand what's happening. And thankfully they did. So you can now listen to the, I guess, non-excuse. There's nothing really to listen to other than her not being able to get an answer of what she did wrong. And I'm making this very clear to you. I am not kidding. I promise you on everything. I had never in my life communicated. I mean, maybe I saw her in an event. I don't know. I shouldn't say never in my life. I might maybe was backstage. I never spoke to this employee once, never anything at all. Period. Not one of my sources, nothing. So this can't be related to me. I don't think it's related to me, but let's take a listen anyways, because they're all convinced they're just paranoid and firing a bunch of people. Take a listen.
I mean, Frank, this is kind of wild.
I understand where you're coming from.
I know, and I know us to be here, and
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really content leaving for the day without further documentation, explanation, anything.
I understand, but it's time to go. We're just gonna say today's the last day, and that's what we're gonna operate now.
And there's nothing else y'all are going to offer me or plan to offer me.
No, I'll send you an email about offboarding instructions that essentially outlines rates that you to submit your business report, and then detailing the pay and out.
And you will receive your year-end bonus from your performance for the year,
Okay.
so that will be in that paycheck too.
Okay. So, I mean,
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming
No,
from.
and I know you're going to keep saying that. I
Yeah.
understand. Like, I know that.
No, I know.
And I know there's probably no magic string of words that I could piece together to procure some type of answer. But
Yeah.
I think on a surface level, like, I'm not going to walk out of here until I say my piece. Like, I mean, y'all know this. I just worked a series of 80, 90-hour weeks plus for AmFest.
Yeah, I think
I've
it's
had no direction or explanation since we've come back. Our CEO has been assassinated. I've done nothing but bend over backwards for this organization to the point where I'm wondering if this is a prank.
it's not a prank. I would never do that.
So I'm just trying to understand. And
No, I understand. It's time to.
so do
it's
I
time
get to have a conversation with Dylan? Do I get to have a conversation with Justin or anybody, or
Nope.
no? And there's no explanation as to why I'm gonna let go.
Right
Despite,
now, right now, we're leaving all.
and you're gonna keep saying a different direction, but I'm trying to understand how I've met multiple times with my.
We're going a different direction with the team, and I have to ask you to leave now.
You have to ask me to leave the property?
Yes,
Due to what, Frank?
because we're asking you to leave because you've been terminated and we're not.
But there's no explanation or documentation for this. I've never had one bad review from Dylan. I've never had one issue with the company. I've never done anything unethical. And so I'm sitting here understanding why my entire livelihood is being completely tossed out. I mean, I sat
No,
in this chair.
you're gonna do great things.
No, and
I
I
think you're
plan
likely
to.
to. I don't think your livelihood's being tossed out. I think you're
Well-
very successful.
Well, my paycheck every other week is being tossed out, Frank, with absolutely no warning whatsoever.
I understand. At this time, it's time for you to.
It's time for me to go. Why? Like this
Because-
is the
because
treatment that Turning Point is offering now.
It's time to go.
Frank, this is crazy.
I understand where you're coming from.
I don't think you do. This feels very heartless. This feels without emotion.
I do understand where you're coming
This feels completely without
from. I
emotion.
understand where you're coming from, but at this time, I have to ask you.
Frank, I'm really not content doing that
Okay.
because I know that when I leave there, my credential's not going to get back in, and I'm never going to have the opportunity to speak with somebody at this company as to why I'm being terminated after never having my performance questioned, after never doing anything wrong, after working tirelessly through the death of Charlie. This is wild. And you can, like, that's completely unsatisfactory. And so I have to go home tonight with no plan, no understanding, asking for clarity multiple weeks in a row. And I'm confused. I sat in your office when that whole GC situation happened. And you
Crazy.
said, and I quote, that if you don't get that job, I'm going to personally think that you got screwed over. And now I'm sitting here and I'm getting screwed over in a completely different capacity with no explanation.
Yep, I understand where you're coming from, but at this time,
So there's going to be absolutely no explanation as to why I'm terminated. So when I go to my next job, I can't explain as to why this chapter is closed.
we're going in a different direction.
That's not an explanation, Frank.
It's the explanation that we're providing now
Providing from who?
from the organization.
From who, though? Justin, from Dylan,
From the organization. I only speak for the organization. I don't.
So different direction means what? Losing people that bend their backwards for the organization, losing people that would be willing to do anything for the organization, losing people that haven't done anything wrong. Like,
I understand what you're saying, and we're taking on, but right now it's time for you to go. And so at the time, say your piece, and now it's time for you to go. So
like how? Okay, well, this is
I honestly can't even imagine this at all. 80 to 90 hour weeks. Your CEO just got publicly assassinated and you've not stopped working since. You think you're going in because they're going to be like, hey, we've made $250 million and like, we see you. And they say, we're moving in a different direction. And we're actually, you're not even allowed to speak to everyone that you just worked for. You're not even allowed to say and then just having beefy security guards there to walk you out. She is correct in saying that this is heartless.
Yeah.
Is it illegal? No. You could do this. A lot of the stuff, as we've said, a common theme here is what Turning Point is doing is legal, but it's also immoral. I wouldn't do it. I would be so honest, like, look, we appreciate obviously everything you've done, even killing yourself. You know what? We're a little paranoid schizo right now, and we just don't know who to trust. We gotta get rid of everybody. Erika has no trust. That's why she doesn't want to be in here, because she doesn't know who's actually the person leaking. Give that girl something. I've asked, and I've spoken to a few of the people. That same person that you heard, their general counsel, then showed up at someone's house. The setup here was crazy. What happened to this next girl is crazy. Okay?
Yeah.
Marina Minas, this is the Uber chick. The Marina Minas, she, I don't know. I guess she's the one out here. I shouldn't say sniping employees. That's not the right analogy to use, especially given the circumstances. But she's kind of involved in a lot of this for some reason. Her name keeps coming up. And so another person set up this kind of fake Zoom. This employee is part-time. It kind of set up this fake Zoom meeting. And so she's at home, she's logged in this meeting and her phone's ringing. I'm going to say allegedly, but this is what happened. Allegedly, her phone's ringing nonstop. She doesn't recognize the number. She doesn't know what's happening. She's still on this call. Eventually she picks up and it's the general counsel. And he's like, hey, I'm outside. You're fired, and come to the door and let me in to get your work computer. And let me tell you something right now.
I would have to say no. No, I'll get it back to you. No, I don't have to let you in. I don't even have to let the police in. I'm not letting you in. Wow, that's nuts, Al.
If you try to delete anything, just so you know, we've installed something and we'll know that you did it. She has no idea what's happening. She's home with her kids, alone with her kids. There's no, she doesn't have her husband there, nothing. And so obviously she just complies. My sense when I hear that story is they thought they were going to find something. They thought there's some sort of paranoia going on. Maybe they thought the same thing with this girl. They were going to grab the tech and they were going to find something. Then this girl, but rolling up at someone's house? Like, what? Dude, this could have been an email. No one wants what's on this computer. You're good. You can literally read what's everything. This is wild to me. Again, same exact situation. I had never once spoken to that person, not through a third party, nothing. Never spoke to that person either. It seems like a little bit of paranoia is going on, but the manner in which they are handling this, I don't know, guys. What's your vibe? What's happening here?
I mean, you'd have to be doing something immoral. Yeah, okay, they're not acting right, right? So what is there to be paranoid of unless you're doing some things wrong? And there's things that you don't want people to know, that you're worried they could accidentally find out.
What could have happened that would lead to this? How do you treat people like this that are actually, I would say, remarkably staying bottled up and not, they should have been leaking if this is the stress they've been going through. I mean, working 80, 90-hour weeks and just being like, peace, goodbye, nothing. Again, if I'm a major donor to Turning Point USA, this ain't it. This is not it. But also maybe you're the kind of donor that sends Charlie those kinds of messages. So you like it. You're into that. It feels like the right thing to do. Like everybody has got to go. And it's giving paranoid and it's giving cult-like, but this is not it. Anyway, we will have a lot more. We also now are in possession of a Zoom call, which Erika held as the new CEO just 5 days after Charlie was publicly assassinated. And one of the strangest things is that she recommends that if employees need time to grieve, that they take time off. What's strange about that is the employees are like, maybe you need to take time off because your husband just got publicly said. They thought it was very strange. And apparently she didn't. Now everyone's saying she was in the office every day with Stacey Sheridan. I told you that's like the chief fundraiser lady.
Oh, man.
They're in the office every day following Charlie's assassination. They got to that 250 million. So I guess it was worth it. But the people thought it was a bit off-putting. And we have that call and I can confirm that's not hearsay. That is true. She does recommend that they take time off to grieve, which is nice, but also makes me mildly uncomfortable. Anyway, you guys, we will take a brief break and we will come back. All right, you guys, if you are a
show of hands, who has the opinion that Erika knew it was going to happen, knew when it was going to happen, and has been planning this all along? I'm of the opinion this is why she was in this marriage and Charlie's handler and her assignment. My opinion. That's just my opinion. Give me a thumbs up in the comments. What do you think? Yeah, I work for myself here. So in April, you guys, I have a video. Actually, I had taken a job and the boss, it was my first week. Into my second week, the boss was off the second week of my first 2 weeks there. Came back, or she didn't like what she had heard about something that I did, and she called me and she yelled. She was yelling at me and talking down to me, and I was in a director position that I had accepted, and it's something in me at that point in time. I was like, no, you're not going to talk to me. I just gave her what was hers and said, no, you're not going to talk to me like this. No wonder you wanted me to clean up, this mess of your business, this side of the business, because if this is how you're running things, this is why morale is so low, and this is why you're having problems, and you can take your job and shove it. And told her goodbye. And at that point I was like, I'm done. I'm done. And I worked for myself on and off throughout the years. I prefer it.
The way that girl fired was evil and it was just not Christian. I totally agree with that. Your reason can be anything. This is actually a true story because I was going through so many emotions after Charlie's assassination. And I just communicated that to people. And we definitely, obviously, went through some changes on the security front, which makes sense because I think all of us in the world felt unsafe when somebody who's a good person can be assassinated in broad daylight. And I was very happy with my current security apparatus and sort of said to them as we were changing things, like, this is me. I was like, you've done nothing wrong. I am just beyond paranoid. And here's what I have to do to solve my paranoia. I just kind of blurted at them and said, you've been amazing. This is totally a me thing. It is not you. And it was great. It was such a healthy conversation. They said they totally understood and that they knew that I was going to have these sorts of concerns. And I said, I hope I can work with you down the line. I'm sure down the line, I could come back to you in 12 months and feel totally differently. But right now, I'm just in a certain state right now that this doesn't work for me in this moment. Again, they were fantastic. There was no reason other than me needing to feel like I needed to make some changes. So they could have done that. They could have been honest and said, you've been amazing and we're a little paranoid right now. And we just have to go through some changes. There's no humanity in that. And I do agree with you that there is a lack of Christianity in the way that was handled. And the fact that she thought for a second it was a joke because of how hard she had worked. It's sad. It genuinely is sad.
No compassion.
And she's not the only one. She's just the one person who had the wherewithal to go, let me hit record because I don't know what's happening right now. Anyways, you guys, if you'd like to support this show, we've got new merch on the website. You can also buy our autographed bundle. It is the hard copies of Make Him a Sandwich and Blackout, both hand-signed by me. Telling you guys, we have a massive snowstorm coming tomorrow, which is changing a lot. The South shuts down when there are snowstorms, and we have it coming on Saturday. Long story short, we have a wedding that was supposed to be on Saturday that's now happening tomorrow. So for the book club, we're making it earlier tomorrow. You might be at work. If you are, you can still catch it, of course, on the website, but you probably won't be able to catch it live. I hope you are. It's going to be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. So just giving you guys that little update. It'll be earlier than we had initially anticipated to accommodate all the changes to our schedule over the weekend because the South does not do snow. I'm a Connecticut girl. We do snow. Tennessee, they don't do snow. Life shuts down for about a week. Let's read the top comment from last episode. It is from Miss Sways. She writes, we need an Erika Kirk series, just like the Brigitte Macron series. Well,
Deep dive.
Want to do perhaps not an entire series, but a couple of episodes dedicated to that, which we have been working on in the background to give everybody something solid. There's a lot of, like I said, innuendo online, some things that are true, some things that are not true. But I do think, given the size and scale of this company, the public does deserve, and since the media is never going to do it, the mainstream media apparatus is never going to do it, something that is solid and backed by facts and documents that tells you about who this new CEO is. Because I think it's fair to say she is not Charlie. I can't imagine Charlie would have allowed that to happen. That made me so uncomfortable, and I'm sure made the rest of you guys uncomfortable to listen to. But hey, the good news is we're getting a lot more information about Turning Point USA. And so there is, I guess, sort of the natural karma to that. Some more comments from today's episode. Gray Scout writes, Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, Baron Coleman, Glenn Greenwald, George Galloway, Scott Ritter, Jeffrey Sachs, Ryan Grimm, Jeremy Scahill, Amy Goodman, Jack Valley, David Grush, George Knapp, Bob Lazar, and Dr. Stephen Greer Hart. Thank you very much for saying that. Rosario writes, why can't she spell out G-O-D? It reminds me of how Erika never says Jesus Christ. She just can't say it. She only ever says the Lord or God. I wonder which Lord and God she's really talking about. Biblical Israel was a people, not a land or its government. You will not get a disagreement with me. I am Catholic about that at all. And I think, like I said, Christian Zionism has been put on trial this year, and I'm happy for that. I think we're all awakening, and this is clearly not a religion, a religious philosophy at all. They act like a cult. The behavior of them is like a cult, and it's always with this veneer of your loving Christian sister is telling you this, and you're like, why do I feel like you're going to harm me? But you are citing biblical scripture and trying to create this illusion like this is coming from the heart and is somehow not a threat. Maybe Turning Point will come out and say who that message is from. We'll see. Jason Blake writes, you do us and Charlie proud. Keep up the good fight. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the work that you do. The world is gay. Christ is King. All the best to you and yours. Thank you so much. Sugar Magnolia writes, TPUSA gives mega church series vibes now, led by Tammy Faye, Greenleaf, Righteous Gemstones. It's now giving all the things that people didn't follow and fall in love with Charlie
Greenleaf,
Kirk for.
yeah.
Yes, I agree that Charlie Kirk, when we were hitting the ground, it was about free markets and capital, and he was never shy about discussing his faith. And like I said, it then dramatically changed, and it seems like they are now pretending to be a faith organization. Well, if you were going to pretend to be an organization that is dedicated to faith, then maybe treat your employees better than that. I don't know. I think that's a fair ask from the public. Cohen Film writes, there needs to be a TPUSA alternative that is America First and not Philadelphia First to reach young Americans. Young people avoid TPUSA. I think that will be the natural occurrence is when something will rise to take its place, when something becomes stale or dishonest or corporate, which, by the way, like I said, was exactly what Charlie set out to disrupt. He wanted to become the new RNC. He felt that people just gave the RNC millions, and yet they had no impact on the youth generation. He wanted to change that, and he did change that. And now it seems like in the wake of his assassination, it's becoming the new RNC, but with a faith bent. Is that fair? I think that's fair. I think my opinion's very fair. Yeah, I agree with you. I think something naturally will rise to take its place, and I think they know that. I think that's really what these legal letters are about. You cannot, however, sue your way into relevancy. You cannot sue your way into public favor. It doesn't work. That's old world mentality thinking. The people that are giving you that advice are wrong. And you are going to, like I said, it's a difficult hill to climb to say that you're being hurt by these videos when you raked in $250 million in a couple of weeks. I think it's a tough hill to climb. Maybe it's not. Maybe you've got some judges in your pockets. Who knows? It's Arizona. Maricopa County is one of the most corrupt counties in the nation. But outside of that, it just doesn't even make sense to pretend that you're hurting financially, especially as you are now getting rid of a bunch of people on your payroll. And I guess you're going to bring some new people in.
Oh, they'll blame that on
going
Candace.
to be questioned about their allegiance to Erika or something. Who knows? Anyway, that's what we have for you today, you guys. We will hopefully see you on Monday. We don't know how much snow we are going to get. Like I said, the infrastructure here, they just do not plow the roads because in the north we have businesses and free markets get in there and don't have to rely on the government, but there'll be like a plow business. Everything is pretty much plowed overnight. Down here, the governments just don't have enough trucks and the roads don't stay plowed for a long time. And so it could be a bit of a slip and slide and we may not have a show due to weather on Monday. Hopefully that is not the case. I'll let you know on social media. We will hopefully see you guys then.
Bye, Candace. Yeah, Charlie had the younger crowd, which if you were a paranoid person, if you were a thinking logically and critically type person, you'd wonder, is that why he needed to be sent away? Because he would have taken the younger generation with him in his views about Israel, how they were changing. Let's see. Okay. What's this? Pasopa Insights has a video premiere for Erika Kirk's physiognomy. I don't know how that reads. Plastic, but might be interesting. Huh. So yeah, he would have taken the younger crowd and they couldn't afford that. They couldn't afford it. So Alex Clark had put a post on X saying that she's now going to be running a bunch of chapters from her location. Where is she? She just signed a contract with TPUSA. So Alex Clark's in there now with them. So she showed her loyalty and allegiance to them. So she's being rewarded for that. Okay. Well, you guys stay warm, stay safe. Make sure you don't freeze. We're in for some cold weather here in Wisconsin. They canceled school tomorrow, so nobody will be in school tomorrow. Oh, face reading. Okay, yeah. I like to listen to those body language experts, but I don't agree with them a lot of times. The ones that I see on YouTube, I feel like they try to be really middle of the road and not say the ones that I've seen anyways. And I'm like, wait a minute, I read something completely different than what they're saying. And I just don't think they just want to say something negative. They're just trying to be nice, but I just want truth. Hit me with the truth, whether it's easy, whether it's hard, whether it's blunt, whether it's gentle. I don't care. I'm just like, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth about me. Tell me the truth about everything. That's all I care about. I don't care about how you deliver it. I just care that it's truth. So, TPUSA Faith, I have no faith in you at all. So Jeff says, I learned something every day in this chat. Letters teach. Okay. Well, you guys, I don't know if Candace doesn't go on. I'm not sure if I will on Monday. I may. It just depends on what I can get through of this interview. And I appreciate you being here. I appreciate seeing you guys every time and chatting with you and watching the show together. So you guys be safe. Take care. Thank you for being here. See you later. See you soon. Bye-bye.
This is a better life. From scars to stars, from pain to bulletproof, to reach a better life. A better life with you. Talking news, pop culture life, love and scandal, heart to heart. Teresa, better life. Real is where the reset starts. No playing small. We rise, we fall. We laugh, we do it all. A better life is one brave call. Teresa, better life. Let's build a better life. Let's build a better life. A better life. Teresa, better life.